What's up, Rockstars, and welcome to my video where I tell you every dollar I spent on board games and everything else that I cover in February. There's not that much that I'm backing, but there's a lot I'm not backing. I'm going to tell you exactly why in just a moment. Now, as always, a huge shout out to my YouTube members and patrons. It is through their financial support that everything you see in this video is possible. And then, of course, everything you see like behind me and all that kind of stuff, all that is through them because it allows me to be financially dependent on them and not the game companies, so they don't pay me any money, and instead I give you my honest opinion about all of these things instead of my wallet's opinion. If you appreciate that, and you can, there is a link down below if you want to go ahead and support that effort that I have trying to put this channel through. And if not, that's fine too. If you like the video and leave a comment, trust me, the AI YouTube algorithm thing loves that, but I do too. And it's not just, for more stats or something like that. That's like pennies on the dollar. It's because I honestly want these videos to be helpful to you or in some way enjoyable to you in your day. And so hearing that feedback is literally, it's what makes it all worthwhile. It's why I'm filming this at 11 p.m. after a long day of work where I wasn't done until 9, just because I want to get this out to you guys because I honestly care. So let's all be a community and let's all spend money, I guess, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So this is really the only thing that I backed. Now, I know I covered this in my previous video, but because this is backer kit, I wasn't charged right away. I felt really good. I'm like, oh, I finally committed. I'm going to get the Under Siege. I'm going to get the Vesuvio. I can't even pronounce that. What, Vesuvio expansion. And then, of course, I got the kind of early backer reward stuff as well. I was like, okay, that's great. I spent another $130. I did that live in the last video, and they didn't charge me until I got an update saying, oh, I just lost $130. And it's always backer kit, and I cannot stand the whole, we'll charge you randomly and I don't know when. It is so terrible on the customer experience to just pledge money and then not know when it's coming out and not be able to do anything. And like, you have to like keep it in your bank and, all that. I don't like leaving money floating. If I click buy or pledge or anything like I want it gone. I want to charge my card right then and there. Don't wait. So that's kind of the one bummer there is I cannot stand backer kit for that very reason. It's the only thing about backer kit that I can't stand, and it irks me to no end. I had no idea the 130 didn't come out. I guess I don't track it. I just thought I did, right? You guys saw me. I was like, oh, look, I just did it. And then didn't even check. And then suddenly I get 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, I get this, notification that, oh, okay, well now we're going to take the money out. And that sucks. I don't like that. But anyway, it did finally come out. So there you go. In February, I paid for that. I also did a whole bunch of stuff on my mini factory. I don't know if you've seen, but I've been talking about that a little bit more on the channel just because it's something that I'm doing and I like to share, and it's my channel after all. So I did this one, in case you couldn't tell, was for Necrons. So I got some printable terrain here. I do have a new FDM printer. It is the Elegoo Neptune 2. I will do a video on that. The moment I get it to actually print something, you guys will know. I can print string and garbage. I can do that, but printing something that actually looks like something, I'll get there eventually. This looked really cool though. Like I really dug this. This is like really, really cool looking. I like how like modular it is. And then of course the big old pieces I think are just going to look awesome anyway. So excited to kind of print some big stuff like that. I think that sounds awesome. Let's see, what else did I get? I also got these for the same reason. It's also got these giant crystals, but again, because this is all STL stuff, you can scale it up, you can scale it down. It also came with some bases, which was kind of interesting too. So first of all, that's awesome. I've seen people do something similar to this with the, some of the packing material that you can get. That kind of looks like that. But honestly, these look great too. Like I love the cobblestone stuff there and the debris and stuff. So I might use some of this for my Warhammer stuff as well. I've been custom 3D printing all of the bases, so they look cool. These look cool anyway. I dig it. I like it all. I think it's going to look awesome. And then, some little doodads and whatnot. It's gonna be cool. I dig it. Okay, so anyway, I grabbed that, and then I also grabbed this. And this, I don't know exactly how I feel about this. I paid $25 for it, and I feel like I shouldn't have. In Kickstarter, it was a lot cheaper, but I saw it late, so I saw it here. But, I mean, it does look good. There's a lot of bases. I mean, like, a ton of different bases. So again, I'm all about also pimping out my board games like Oko Chronicles. I've been printing out, there's like this kind of stuff, right? With the wood planks. I think that fits the board game art fairly well there. And so you get a whole bunch of, just a ton of different things in this one. So this gets me for a long time here. That's all I'm saying there. Like, there is plenty to do here. So anyway, that's what I backed on my mini factory. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's just try to make this a quick video. It depends on how much I go. Okay, let's talk about what I'm not backing. What I'm not backing is Bloodstone. Why am I not backing this? Well, probably for the same reason I think a lot of people aren't. It's been kind of struggling to gain too much. And I think the biggest fault that this had, I think the price is probably a little odd, but that's not even really the thing. I think the delay hurt it. Because it was delayed so long. If you recall, I was reporting on Bloodstone like 2 years ago when they first announced it, and they delayed it, and they delayed it, and they delayed it. And so, with those delays, we've now had Tenaris, and that's, you know, all, we've had, like, all of the, Primal just came out, and all these other boss battlers and arena combat stuff. Wild Ascent will be delivering soon. All this kind of stuff just, it's stuff we already have, right? It's stuff we already are going to be getting, or we've backed, or we've pledged money towards it, or either way, it's kind of almost a been there, done that. And like, if it had been earlier, before we had seen a lot of that, I think it would have done a little bit better. But I think the other problem is the fact that, so the price right now is $125, which is a bit more, right? I think $120 is kind of the, all right, that's fine, I guess, but, you know, I want a lot of game for that. But the fact that it's even $5 more than like the average, like either they just don't care about what the normal price of these things are, or they really think that $5 extra is going to help. I don't know. I almost feel like they made that price in a vacuum, more or less. But anyway, so they're charging more than a lot of this other stuff too. In fact, how much was Tenaris? That's fine. How much was Tenaris? So Tenaris was, let's go and do a non-new backer. Let's see, Tenaris Adventures. Well, Tenaris Adventures alone was 100, but I'm not seeing, these were so hard to find anyway. I forget how much it was, but suffice it to say, $125 for what you get seems kind of bad. It looks like a fun game. I love the idea of the dice. I told you guys that. But it has a very limited amount of players, and so it's far less than Arena did when it first came out. And so there's a lot less, ability to kind of, and I believe you only play one person, and so it's just, it doesn't seem like there's as much content there. And then you have a campaign that's essentially like Primal, where it's just a boss battler with like barely a story kind of in between. You get like a paragraph describing it, and then you fight the monster, and you get an item, and then you use that item to fight another boss, which has a paragraph, and that's really it. I mean, it's not, there's not a lot to it. It's just a bare bones campaign boss battler and a arena fighter with not a lot of options on who to pick. And that just, for $125, it doesn't seem great. Now, they could really sell how premium this is and how great it is and the scale of the minis and the quality of the components and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just not seeing it. I mean, even this, it's like, we get 18 dice and 104 cards. We get 18 tokens, 9 champions. It doesn't seem like, and 28 monster miniatures, but there are some that have like ads too. It just seems like there's not a whole lot of game here. Oh, here we get 45 attack, dice or whatever. So you get those kind of repeated dice, and I'm just not seeing it. I don't know why it costs as much as it does compared to what we normally get on Kickstarter. And then compared to its direct competitors, it just seems lacking. I think the game looks fun, and if I could play it for free, I totally would. But it's not free, and therefore I didn't back it. Let's talk about Zombicide Undead Alive. Undead or Alive. I'm not backing this one either. I already have Zombicide Rue Morgue. I already have Zombicide Invader. That is plenty for me. I'm fine with those two. If I ever want to play Zombicide, I'll just pull out Invader and play that. If I'm ever wanting the modern Zombicide, I could go back to the Rue Morgue. That was back when they put fancy dice in the core box anyway. And so, cause I got the retail version of that. But I'm fine with just the two I have. I think anybody who likes the game obviously should I think have a Zombicide. I think 1 or 2, maybe even 3, as long as they're not all ends, is kind of okay, right? Because each one does have a unique mechanic, and they're all different themes and stuff like that. So you get a little bit of variety, but yeah, I'm good. I'm not big on the Western theme. I'm not big on the miniature design. I'm not big on wooden dice either, actually. Nothing here excites me. None of this is like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. This is the biggest FOMO. I'm good. Now they did add a Gears and Guns expansion for $40. It's as far as I can tell, no Kickstarter exclusives. It's a steampunk version, though. Even it's not the kind of steampunk I would like. Like I got Machina Arcana. I'll be getting that. That looked like freaking cool steampunk to me, where you're like fusing like guns and or like Rise of Moloch, right? Is steampunk to me, where you have like organic techno guns and all this other kind of, Tesla coils and whatnot. This to me just seems like a whole bunch of Western people that found out what hydraulics are. It just, and even then some of them don't look at it at all. And so I'm looking at this, I'm like, you got a steam gauge there and new dice. It's cool. I'm cool with it. Visually though, I'm kind of meh about it. Even the campaign thing, that just looks boring too, but anyway. But I'm scrolling down and I noticed, like, wait a second, they got the same gun. And they couldn't even make a new... Part of my problem with the Western theme is it doesn't seem like there's a lot of different guns, right? It's like a whole bunch of people with rifles, a whole bunch of people with shotguns, a whole bunch of people with pistols, and that's it, right? There's no machine guns, there's no... I didn't really see... Maybe I can go back. I didn't really see, like, crossbows or bows or... Like who has a bow and arrow? Does anybody get a bow and arrow here? This is the Wild West. And we don't get a bow and arrow? Nobody has a bow and arrow. Everybody has guns. That's unfortunate. Anyway, I guess this guy has a pickaxe. But then it's, rifle. Anyway, so then when I saw that they have the same gun, I'm like, even when you're inventing guns, you can't get new ones, really. And so I don't know. They just, like, he's just a Western guy with arms. Like, it just doesn't seem steampunk enough. Like, she doesn't, what's steampunk? She's got goggles? Do goggles make her steampunk? I guess she's got a few more little tiny details that are going to be this big on the gun. Like, how is this steampunk? So, like, some of the, like, what is steampunk about this guy? Does he have something on his neck? I don't even know what that is. Adding this a little bit and then giving him what looks to be a normal gun. I guess it's a special gun. It just looks like a fancy revolver. Like, this is not the steampunk that's going to get me to do it. She's got a regular gun, but she's got a body armor, I guess. Steampunk. It just, like, this is actually probably the most steampunk. It's really her right here. She looks more steampunk. This guy's just got some gloves, I guess. And I guess his weapon is, like, if you want to call that steampunk, go ahead. But I'm just not feeling it. And then, of course, you got gun here and gun here. The exact same thing. So, no thank you. It just, this guy's got a chainsaw. Sure. Yeah. Okay. This guy's got boots. And some slight fanciness on his pickaxe. So he's steampunk. It just, to me, I was like, yeah, that's not even visually different enough to excite me. So I didn't get that one as well. Ares Expedition for the Terraforming Mars card game. I also am not getting because I never even played Terraforming Mars. I'm not interested in a $40 card game right now. And people were complaining about how the company is selling something for more than you can get on the Board Game Geek store right now. And so I don't know. I struggle with any company that's perfectly knowledgeable, knowing that they're charging more for something than what other customers can get, and are fine taking that customer's money, knowing that they could get it cheaper elsewhere. Like, I always feel like, I don't know, to me that feels wrong. Like, I would never do that, where it's like, I know fully well you can get it cheaper here, but will gladly take your money out of ignorance because you don't know any better. Like, if the people knew better, that's fine, but it's not like they're like, hey, don't buy this here unless you want to support us. You can get it cheaper over here. Here's a link. Right? Instead, it's like, yeah, if you don't know any better, then we'll take your money and you'll just luck out on not spending too much money. So that I don't like that at all. And that gives me a real sour taste on Stronghold games. What else have they done? What else have you done, Stronghold? Nothing of importance. Okay, so you've made Terraforming Mars, and that was a big... Wait, where's the original Terraforming Mars? Okay, I don't know. Maybe this is a publisher. I don't know what's going on. Whatever. All that other stuff looks boring. Anyway. So that already soured me on it as well. And so I was like, I'm good. That being said, 10,000 backers. There's a lot of people excited about the card game, and that makes sense. I think if I ever want to, I'm good. I also don't like how colorful it is. And it's not because I hate happiness and joy. I just think, like, I don't find that a very good... Is that a pink? Is that a red? It's ugly. And then it's right next to this green. And it just seems like... It seems like my 8-year-old daughter, if she were to color in everything, she would pick these colors. If that makes any sense. It's just too much. I don't need bright peach and salmon pink and lime green staring at me for an hour as I play a board game. Or I don't know. It's not me. Anyway, that's it. I probably rambled on too much, but I wanted to explain not only what I'm backing, but what I'm not backing. Now, again, at the start of next month, I will be projecting what I will be backing, and we got some big, heavy hitter board games coming up on Kickstarter. Okay, and it's not just Ragnarok. I mean, there's some big things coming. So I'll let you guys know about that in a week or two. And until then, thanks so much for listen to me talk about these Kickstarters. Let me know what you're backing. I would be curious, mainly because I find it really useful to see what you guys are interested in, because a lot of times you guys show me some really great stuff, especially the indie stuff. Like, I would have never have gotten several of the games I have if it wasn't for you guys mentioning them to me. So I'm always interested in that. Just so we can see, so I can see how in sync I am with you, instead of you just seeing how in sync I am with, you are with me. All right, that's it. I'll let you guys go. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys again real soon.